Your problem is not that you lack brilliant ideas. Your problem isn't that you lack vision. Your problem isn't that you don't know how to solve problems to make that vision real. Your problem is you lack nerve. You lack the nerve both to name what the vision should be. Yes, we're using the word should. And this is the part you lack the nerve to step into who you would have to be to operate at that level. Your ceiling, the thing that you keep saying, like, oh my God, they keep making me play small. They keep inviting me to rooms that I outgrew however many years ago. You're part of creating the problem with that ceiling. And the distance in that ceiling, the gap is between what you privately believe and what you're publicly saying. The gap between what you privately believe and what you publicly say, that gap, that's your ceiling. If you bust those two things, if you make what you say privately and what you believe privately equivalent to how you move and what you say publicly, make those things become closer to one another. Because you have to take some responsibility, boo boo. Like, it's not all about like externalities. Some of it is also you're sending such mixed messages to the universe. The universe is like, look, you're all over the place. You're listening to Madam Speaker Says, your no fluff cheat code to becoming the voice everyone listens to. I'm your host, Magogodi. If you've been waiting for permission slip to straighten your crown and take up space like you invented the blueprint, Madam Speaker Says got you covered. No whispers, no apologies, just you, me, and some bold ass moves. Let's get into it. When your work has outgrown how you are seen, are you the kind of person who walks into a room and people introduce you and the introduction sounds like who you were 5 years ago? I am here to tell you, and I'm holding your hand as I say this, the problem isn't necessarily that those people have you wrong. The problem is you've been so busy becoming, but you haven't let anybody in on the growth. You haven't reintroduced yourself. You expect the platform that you built 2 years ago to actually articulate who you are and what you're doing. Honey, that platform over there is articulating and promoting old you. Meanwhile, people are trying to like catch up to, oh, what's Magogodi doing now? Who is she now? And Magogodi hasn't articulated, this is the new me. This is the new vibe. This particular episode is going to help you when your work has outgrown your everything, like how you're actually seen and how you're perceived in public, right? And I should say, I am Magogodi. I am your host. Welcome. That was rude. Welcome, welcome. I am your host. I am Magogodi, and you're listening to Madam Speaker Says. And on today's episode, we are here to help you articulate the thing with power. Why? So that you can unlock the keys to the rooms that you should be disrupting. You should be dominating those rooms. And I'm here because I believe so much in you being the loudest voice inside of those rooms, inside of the public square. If you don't know, that's the whole mission of what Madam Speaker is about. And today we're about to get it all the way together. What are we talking about here, right? Maybe you're somebody who feels like, I've done all of like, I have the years in, like everybody kind of knows who I am, but they're still kind of underestimating me because, again, they're holding on to who you were when you first came in and you were really hungry and you proved yourself. So now you've shaken all of the hands and you know all of the people, but those people don't know fully who you've become and who you're in the process of becoming and all of the power that you're about to unleash on us. Your reach is still a reach that is like 2 years ago. It hasn't really caught up to where you are right now. The symptoms, like some of the things where you know that this is you, I'm talking to you if your bio is still dated and doesn't really convey the power and the juiciness and the sauce and also the unique angle that you bring to the table. But don't worry, don't get the panties in a bunch, okay? We're going to, in this particular episode, by the time you leave this episode, I'm even going to give you tools live in real time to address that bio. You know that this is for you when the rooms that you keep being invited into over and over, they feel like they're small. They feel like they can't hold your audacity, right? They feel like they're asking you to be a previous version of yourself. And you like that girl, but it makes you want to pull out your hair because you're like, I've been done that. Okay. And also, when people keep referring to your old work instead of where you are right now, you got a problem, boo boo. Like, you want people to refer to not only your most current work, but also to think of you of the next thing that maybe it's a project that you haven't even seen or imagined yourself playing in. You know, I was on a call recently with somebody who we're working towards getting on the podcast. And this woman did the most brilliant thing. She was like, look, I love all what you're asking, all of the energy. I want to say yes. But my butt is people keep bringing me on to speak and they want to talk about who I was and what I was doing like 20 years ago. And I have a whole body of work. And especially, I'm excited for where my body of work is going, right? If you're an artist, you know this. If you're a fan of an artist, you definitely know this. You go to their concert and they want to sing all of the new songs. And you're like, but what about like the classic? Okay, what about like Crazy in Love? And like Beyonce's like, I love Crazy in Love too, but girl, I got a whole catalog. Have you heard Texas Hold'em? You know, and that's all she wants to sing. That's your problem. You're at Texas Hold'em, but you don't have the Beyonce PR machine. So you've produced Texas Hold'em quietly, like without telling anybody, and everybody, all they know about you is like, girl, please sing Crazy in Love. That's the only thing we know about you. Yo, like that gap in between, that is the work. And that is the thing that says like ding 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 ding, your work has outgrown how you're seen, and there's a communication articulation issue in between those two things. That's what we're about to get into. It's not that you're stuck. It is not that you're stuck. It's that your work, like I said, it has outgrown how you're seen. It's not that you're stuck. But the thing is, and here's the thing, there's a reason why. Okay, you're not crazy. There's a reason why. It's because so much of the growth that you have been going through, that growth happens privately. Who Beyonce had to be to produce that latest album that won, you know, all of the Grammys, including Grammy of the Year. And this is somebody who'd been nominated so many times for Grammy of the Year and she never won. I'm not saying the other albums didn't deserve it, but just stick with me with this analogy. The who she had to become, if you listen to the artistry on that new latest album, completely different human being, completely different artistry, completely different grasp of craft. And that's you, right? You have become that level of like a completely new artist, completely new articulator. You have honed your craft in such a beautiful and powerful way. But here's the thing that's different between you and Beyonce. You did it privately. I mean, she works privately too, but she's got an engine behind her. You did it privately without an engine behind you, and somehow you expected us to know publicly that, yo, I'm not her anymore. Like, I've evolved past the girl in like the hot shorts singing Crazy in Love. Like, I am now this new evolved version. Okay, we're going to drop the analogy now. We're going to drop the analogy, but keep going on explaining why you are here. You are here because what you've been experiencing privately, you haven't articulated that publicly. And that needs to change. That's on you. Like, that is on you. Those people, they're still holding on to that version that you said, this is who I am. You need to bring them up to where you are right now. You also have a brand freeze problem. And I hate to tell you, and I'm definitely naming names when I say this because I am in this boat as well. The website is a fossil. The bio, your bio might actually be a fossil. When was the last time you worked on your bio? All of your public facing material are fossils stuck in 19, who knows when. We're not even counting years and 19s anymore, but your work is still talking about 19s. We need to update that, okay? We need to thaw the fossil. And don't worry, I'm gonna get you together. We're gonna get there in just a minute. The other thing I'll say is one of the things that is also happening, why this keeps happening over and over, is because you're so good at producing. You're so good at, you're really good at the hustle. I'll tell you that. Like, you keep delivering and then delivering even more beyond their expectations. But, and here, this but matters, and hear me well. If you keep delivering like that without reintroducing yourself, you are asking for people to keep expecting not just where you were, but more of where you were without the pay for where you are right now. And the pay, of course, is like, I'm talking about paycheck, but it's so much more than that. It's the respect. When you walk into your room, put some respect on my name. They can't put some respect on your name because you haven't done the work of reintroducing, like, I know. Let me own this. I am this version of Magogodi, okay? And here's what I now stand for. Here's what I'm willing to tolerate. And also, the rates have gone up. I need you to have that level of, yeah, that was then, okay? That was 20, you're quoting 2029. Listen to me, I'm already in the future. You're quoting to me 2025, 2023 numbers, versions of me. I'm already in 2029 and I need you to catch up. Okay, one of the things that is really true, and you may be experiencing this, is that growth without repositioning, or another way of thinking about repositioning, growth without changing how you are seen, one of the things that it's going to cost you is dissonance. So when you're growing, you keep delivering, but you are not repositioning yourself, it's going to cause dissonance. And that dissonance is something you experience as frustration. That dissonance is something that you experience as cynicism, right? Oh my God, they never like let people such as myself move forward. I mean, I'm not talking about structural issues. I'm talking about something that's very specific. Oh my God, I'm frustrated. Oh my God, like they never really let people move forward because like they don't really see me. They don't really respect me and what I'm capable of. Some of that might be on you because you haven't reintroduced them to the new and then put hard boundaries around, here's who the new me is. And if you can't get with her, you're going to lose her, okay? And the other thing is you're constantly finding yourself playing smaller or being asked to play smaller. If those are frustrations that you've been experiencing, or those are things that you're cycling in and out of periodically, this is going to get you all the way together. You say that you want the bigger rooms. You say that you want to stop playing small and finally like step into the big vision and life that you know you're capable of. Well, it doesn't only require big receipts, this new big life that you want. It also requires sharper articulation. You really need to get stronger, speaking from your chest, like say it from here. This is who I am now. Okay? How do you do that? I'm glad that you asked. I'm so glad that you asked because I do have some tools for you. Number one, remember when I said to you, your tools, like your marketing tools, are fossilized and we need to thaw them? Let's get into that right now. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to give you a fossil test. What does that mean? Right now, in this very moment, I need you to pull up your bio. I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Oh, okay, you got your bio now? Okay, good. You've pulled up your bio. I gave you time to do that. Now, I want you to ask yourself this. Does your bio have your current edge? Does your bio articulate your current edge, the thing that makes you a machete compared to the competition? The competition is sitting over here being cute, being soft around the edges, and you're coming in like a machete, right? Because you have become this new version of yourself that's so much sharper than who you were, I don't know, 20 years ago. Does the bio actually articulate that? If you were to strip away all of the credentials in your bio, how would you name your thesis? What would be your thesis? I think this is the place where a lot of women really have especially impact leaders, especially my Black and brown woman, I'm going to call you out specifically. This is where you really have a little bit of a harder time, right? Because you lean on the credentials as the thinking that like, oh, this is what will get me into the bigger rooms. Spoiler alert. The polish is not what gets you into the bigger rooms. What's going to get you into the bigger rooms and help people see you in a new light is your perspective. It's at the level where you are right now, it's a given that you have the credentials. Like, you don't have to tell people, here's the fancy schools that I went to. You don't have to do that. You don't have to tell people, here's all the awards that I have. Here's all the fellowships. Like, you don't have. Stop trying to prove yourself, boo-boo. You don't have to prove yourself. Instead, what you need to do is embody your authority. And the way that you do that is you communicate a very clear perspective. Hear me well. This is about polish done over perspective. This is about your perspective over your polish. So if you look at your bio right now and you're really honest with yourself, you take away the fellowships, you take away the awards, the degrees, the amazing media opportunities that you have had. What are you disrupting? Can somebody read your bio and clearly understand, oh, she's dangerous. Okay, she really is a machete. She did not come out here to play. Answer me that. Like, what are you disrupting? If somebody looks at your bio, do they understand immediately what you oppose? Who maybe you oppose if you want to get real spicy, okay? And this isn't about naming names, but this is really about having a clear perspective, who you're for, who you're not for, because can't be out here serving everybody, okay? That's like the buffet and that's the starter lane. That's who you were 20 years ago. We're not there anymore. Who are you refusing, or what are you refusing? And who and what are you sharpening? Is that clear in your bio? Is that clear in your bio? Or am I just getting a whole lot of Harvard made me, this fellowship made me, this particular media enterprise like made me? I mean, no shade to that. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for that, but that's strategy, okay? You need to understand when we pull those assets out and why we're doing it versus a bio that really helps you and everybody else understand, oh, she did not come here to play games. She is very clear on not only who she is right now and what the work is, but how she wants to be seen and how she's positioning herself. Now, here's what I want you to do before we move on to tool number 2. I want you to write one sentence that would make your old bio uncomfortable. Write one sentence that clearly articulates how you are disruptive, how you oppose things that you know shouldn't be running amok in your industry. I want you to put anything that resonates into one sentence that would make your old bio uncomfortable. Got it? Okay, we build from there. Tool number 2. Do you actually even have the right key, the right room key? Because I hear you talking about you want to be in bigger rooms. I hear you talking about, oh, but I always thought like, I would have a much bigger life. And I know that I'm capable because my work is equal to that bigger life, but it's not materializing, right? Because of how I'm seen and the opportunities that keep coming at me and to me. Well, let me ask you this. Do you have the right room key for this bigger room that you believe that you're qualified for? Because I'm willing to bet the key keeps rejecting you at the door. It won't go in because you don't even have the right room key. What am I talking about? Your current voice in public. Ask yourself if that is the voice that holds power, or is that a voice which wants to be liked once you're inside of the room? Because, honey, those are two very different things, right? I want you to think about people who move with power and responsibility. Do they constantly need to ask for permission? Now they don't. They move like they're supposed to be there. So are you moving as though this key that you have in your hand is the right one for this room and you belong? Or are you moving like you actually are asking for permission and you want to be liked once you're inside of this room? And what I mean by do you move, I'm asking about your self-articulation. I'm asking about your messaging for yourself. I'm asking about how you are perceived versus who you actually are, how you are privately versus how you are publicly. The room, the room does not need more credentials. That's not how you get in, okay? The key that's going to get you in, the key at this level of where you are, yes, sure. Back there, you did need the credentials to get you through the door, but you're way past that first point. Where you are right now, to get further, you don't just need the credentials. The credentials, like I said, that is a given. It is a given that I went to a fancy school and I have like all of the degrees. And even if I didn't have the degrees, that I have the commensurate experience to match a Harvard Business School, degree. That is a given. Where you need to go next, honey, it's not credentials that is going to get you. What's going to get you and what that room is looking for is clarity. Is this person clear on who they are, what their mission is, what they're not about, what their skill can and cannot do? Are they clear about that? Are you clear about your edge? Do you understand, again, how you are a machete and what makes you a machete compared to everybody else, compared to the competition? And number 3, thesis. Like, are you really clear on what your thesis is? Like, how you affect change, who you're here to impact. Are you clear about that? And how you will impact them? If it feels like your website is still a little bit clunky and all of your tools and public facing things are still a little bit clunky, you should know that you're not imagining the issue of do people perceive you properly, because they don't. And if you feel this, I know for myself, okay? I know for myself, I feel an element of this. And what I know I need to get clear on is that sharpening stuff that is about, is my website very clear? Is it edgy? Is it communicating my personal thesis? And I'm using the website, but that's kind of like, a first step example of what we're talking about, really deep work around messaging. I want you to understand that how you sound needs to hold weight. How you sound, you need to ask yourself, is how I sound and how I'm coming across, does that hold weight? Or do I sound like I need approval? Does the way that I sound in public hold its own weight, or does it sound like I'm still waiting for approval? I need you to do the work, okay? To do the work. And these tools are going to get you together. The third tool is around your fear. Let's call it the fear factor, because there's always going to be some psychological things that are happening in the background. And your edge actually is you being able to say it out loud, to say the thing that you say privately. Can you say that out loud? Can you say that publicly? That maybe it's like one sentence that you constantly say when you get home and you're very frustrated with the way that you're perceived and the way that you're constantly being asked to play small, right? What is the one sentence that keeps coming up over and over again that sounds like, your partner may be like, I'm so sick of hearing you talk about this particular one thing, and like, I get it already, you are XYZ. That XYZ, that one sentence that you're saying in private, I want you to think about what would it be like if you use that on your LinkedIn, like how polarizing it might be, right? I want you to think about that one sentence and how it would lose you people if that was something you were saying out loud. Who would be lost? But more importantly, who would be magnetized by the thing that you have to say, that you are saying, but you're only saying it privately? We need to start saying that thing publicly. Most of y'all, your problem is not that you lack ideas. It's that you lack nerve. Your problem is not that you lack brilliant ideas. Your problem isn't that you lack vision. Your problem isn't that you don't know how to solve problems to make that vision real. Your problem is you lack nerve. You lack the nerve both to name what the vision should be. Yes, we're using the word should. And this is the part you lack the nerve to step into who you would have to be to operate at that level. Okay. Your ceiling, the thing that you keep saying, like, oh my God, they keep making me play small. They keep inviting me to rooms that I outgrew however many years ago. You're part of creating the problem with that ceiling. And the distance in that ceiling, the gap is between what you privately believe and what you're publicly saying. The gap between what you privately believe and what you publicly say, that gap, that's your ceiling. If you bust those two things, if you make what you say privately and what you believe privately equivalent to how you move and what you say publicly, make those things become closer to one another, I am telling you now that ceiling itself is also, because you have to take some responsibility, boo boo. Like, it's not all about like externalities. Some of it is also you're sending such mixed messages to the universe. The universe is like, look, I wanna help you out, Mafafodi, but man, you're all over the place, right? And so other people are also like, I'm not really clear on how to perceive her. And the work that they do understand is who you were back then. And I'm going to invite you to do this instead. If you have the issue that we just were breaking down, I want you to do this instead. Ask yourself, in your field, in your line of expertise, what's broken? This is an excellent journaling exercise. Let me point that out, okay? So you can either pause here and go through the exercises, or you can quickly jot down. And once you're done with this podcast, come back and journal through these 3 prompts, because they're really going to help articulate for you exactly how you want to be seen now, because you're a new version of you, and how you're going to reintroduce yourself to people. So number 1, what is broken that you see around you? Who benefits by you not naming that thing clearly and articulately? And number 3, who would feel like so relieved and breathe better when they hear you open your mouth and tell the truth, that in your little private WhatsApp groups, you're all exchanging notes and eyes like, I heard that. Who is in that group chat who would be so grateful for you having been brave enough to say the thing that needs to be said? I'm pausing on purpose because this is the part where you either journal or you press pause and quickly make notes of these particular prompts and come back, because these are going to help you to do things differently, to reintroduce yourself. When destructive voices are precise, right? Think about our current political moment. Think about everything that is at stake right now and being fought for in the public square. And then think about the powers that be and how precise they are. And then measure that against how polite you're being in what you allow yourself to say publicly. And I'm not talking about like using cuss words and, like being very theatrical. I'm just talking about being really crisp and clear on the things that need to be named, that have some edge, that might actually snatch some edges, right? I want you to ask yourself, who wins when you are polite about that stuff? If you are the kind of person whose work has outgrown how you are seen, the answer for you is not to grind harder. You're not going to get through this by posting more. You're not going to do this by working feverishly to remap your entire marketing plan. You're going to get through this by sharpening how you articulate your entire messaging. Yes, Some of that definitely has to include your marketing assets, but we're talking about something so much deeper. And a lot of it is embodying work, right? A lot of it is you having the chutzpah out in the public square to say the things that you say privately, that you believe privately, and having the spine to be like, this is what it takes to be in the rooms where I belong. And I need to be in these rooms to move the things for the people that I care about. If you are there, what you really need is to sharpen, like I said, your messaging, and you also need a reintroduction. Of course, you can do all of that work on your own. You could feverishly, by the time this podcast is done, you could be off on the side, rewriting your bio. You could update your website all by yourself. Trust me, I've been that person in the past before. Like, oh, I will just update my website. Oh, I will just update my bio. And those things are really important. But what you need for where you are right now and for the leapfrog that is happening in real time, you need friction. You need somebody who is going to like pressure test the stuff that you are living through against what it is that you are becoming, right? You need somebody who's going to help you articulate your thoughts, sometimes before you're even onto your next thought. And that looks like strategy. That looks like working with a strategist. You need to think about who do you need to publicly become for your current you to be seen and to be seen accurately. And who's going to be the person that you need to help you to become her? Let me say that again. Who do you need to become publicly so that who you are right now, privately, that catches up and you are seen accurately by those who are around you, right? In order to do that work, yes, you can do it alone, but it helps so much to work with a strategist. My DMs are open. This is definitely the kind of deep, and so like delicious. This is the kind of thing that makes me feel like I'm doing my part, right? Like I see the forces of death, of autocracy. I see the ways in which voices like ours are being shut down in the public square. And when I get to pour into you and help you move beyond the, oh, I'm so like credentialed for this, into the, no, you already, your crown been paid for, okay? Let's call ancestor James Baldwin into this conversation. All you have to do is just wear it. And sometimes you need somebody to help straighten that crown. If you're interested in doing that in partnership, my DMs are open. This is Madam Speaker Says. These are our delicious solo episodes where you and I get to kiki one-on-one. I'm really excited for season 3. It drops April the 5th, which is a Sunday. And between now and then, I will be here with these episodes and really holding your hand. And saying the things that maybe only certain people say to you in private group chats. Like it's time for you to be done playing small and start catching yourself up to who you are becoming. I will see you here next week, Sunday. I am Magogodi. Thank you for listening. Hey, pull up. Just you and me for a second. Are you an exec, a founder, or an entrepreneur who's sick of shrinking in rooms you're overqualified to lead? It's time to stop playing small and start owning your expertise. But how, Magogodi? Girl, I got you. I offer coaching that helps women of color just like you to claim your place as a thought leader. Whether you want to command a room, craft and share your signature story, or finally get that book out of your head and onto bookshelves, I've got the strategy and spicy accountability that you need. If you're tired of seeing less qualified folks shine while you stay behind the scenes, girl, the wait list is open. Follow the link in show notes to stop waiting for permission and claim your VIP spot now. My mission? Helping women just like you to snatch the spotlight, shake the table, and take your damn seat at the top already. No begging, no detours, and nope, no apologies.
just bold ass moves.